One of the most common gaming challenges is beating a game without doing a certain action, pressing a certain button, or getting a certain item, like collecting no coins in Mario games. There aren't any collectibles in Fire and Ice, and almost all of the buttons are required to 100% the game and are uninteresting to limit, so I had to choose an action. I chose climbing as it seemed like the challenge that would have the most unique routes. Speaking of unique routes, most levels have the same route as the speedrun, so I only cover levels where the route is different. You can do slightly less climbs with this, too. Then that's it. Usually the speedrun route is like pushing the ice, but that results in one more climb. And this definitely isn't the speedrun route. I think it's still one climb. Yeah, I think it's just one climb for that whole level. Usually the speedrun route is removing that, but that makes a climb, so you can do this. Then we can just do this. So that's just 2 climbs. Is there any way to do this in, like, less than 3 climbs? Or is it 2 climbs? I think it's 2 climbs, because, like, you have this one, and there's the second climb, which does this. I don't think there's any way to do this in less, and I'm gonna go back to it just in case, but I'm pretty sure it's required to be 2 climbs. Oh, actually, maybe not? Hang on. So, you can do this, and then, oh yeah, actually you don't need 2 climbs for it. So, you can just do this, which is 0 climbs. Okay, cool. So, the regular speedrun route here is like this. I'm not even counting, because I know this is like so many. And I forgot that the actual speedrun route is here, which uses 1 less climb. This is 2. But you can do it this way, which I think uses less. It's 3, 4. Yes, that's 4 instead of like 6. I'm wondering if there's any way to like... Oh, actually, yes. Okay, so 1. And then you can send 3 down, so you don't need any more climbs. Because otherwise there would be like 2 separate climbs to make the 2 ice, like 1 to drop down and 1 to send over. It's faster to do, and it's slower to do that in the speedrun route, but it's less climbs since you don't need to go down there. Usually the speedrun route is like something cool where you go like boom, which makes it slightly faster because you aren't switching between crouching, but here that's slower, that's worse because it makes plenty more climbs. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's 13. If you were to do it this way, it's 14, 15, then boom. That's the speedrun route. Obviously, you don't wait there thinking the whole time, but like, you know. And I'm pretty sure the alternate route that I thought of was like, it's 14 climbs, then you send a thing down there, and then either you can just do like the second half of the other one, hey, or you like climb onto that one, or you climb here, but like any of those 3 routes requires 15 climbs. Here you save a climb by not heading down there. First off, definitely place ice here. That saves on a good amount of climbs. And then 3. It's same as always. I can double check to see if this is improvable, but I mean, these two climbs are for sure required. It's just a matter of like, can you do this without? Oh, you actually definitely you can. Like this. There you go. So it's 2 climbs for the level. Generally, the speedrun route is to go back up here, so that it like drops 2 like once you get into the pipe, you drop it, hit so 1 ice falls in the fire and kills it, the other to like make a stack so you can push 1 at the other ice. But you can do this. Saves a climb. So it's 1 for the whole level. Actually, wait. That is more climbs than you need already. Because that's the speedrun route, which requires like going down. Oh, I failed again. But like, you go down here, and then do this to send it into the fire. But that requires a climb, so you can do that in a better way. Then you just send 3 down at once, so you don't need to do that. It's actually fast, and not faster, obviously, but it takes less climbs to keep on sending stuff down. Because usually the speedrun route is like, you fall down there and then place an ice, and then later you come back here to do 1 extra thing. But you can do this. Trying to think if there's like what the best way of going about this is. Because in order to send ice over here, we need like an ice bridge, and then you'd like make a little ice to push over. And you need to do that anyways, so I guess there's nothing wrong with doing that now. Oh, this saves on a climb. So it's just 5, I believe. Well actually, hang on. Maybe you could prevent some clicks by like using that, like climbs by using that same sort of strat, but like for this pipe, and like you can come down to this spot later. You have that as a bridge, and I think right now we want that open. What about doing that a bit later? Like doing the left and the right, like in the speedrun route. And this is like a good way to get up here without using many climbs. You can just repeat that to get back up here. So I think that's 1 climb for the whole level so far. The 2 for sure required climbs are like climbing up 1 and then up again to like send ice at this rightmost fire. It's just a matter of like, can you skip the other ones? This is tough, because there's no horizontal pipes, or like horizontal entrances. So like now that we're down here, we have to climb to get back up. Then I can go back here, and then do this. Then 3, 4, and I can do this. So it's on 4 climbs. Yo, that's cool. I don't think there's any better, like, low amount of climbs you can do there. That's a cool one. That redeemed this challenge. I wouldn't go that far, but it was a fun challenge to figure out. General speedrun out is that's not it, actually. So it's, 5, then 6. But I know for sure that that is, more climbs than is necessary. A route that I was, like, originally thinking, oh, is this faster, is it not? You can do that. You can do the route that I was like, is it faster? Which is sending it like this. So, that's the 5th climb, but there's no 6th climb, so there you go. So it's like 2 ways of solving this. It's like this way, which is climb 2, then 3, and then the speedrun route is slightly different and I think uses more climbs, but I'll just double check. So a speedrun route is this. Which, yeah, it's 4 climbs instead of 3. Do this to make it so you don't climb onto this one. This is slower, but it reduces the amount of climbs, I believe. Actually, no, it doesn't, because dropping it doesn't waste any climbs. Usually the speedrun route is like removing this and then like climbing up and placing it, but like you can do that without. So it's 21 climbs. The question is, can you save climbs? Yeah, this is a slight like time save, a climb save. That's also done in the speedrun route because you're like bringing ice down to stand on, so you don't have to climb for one extra thing. Except, actually, I lied. You can save more climbs there. No way. It's fun. Boom. You save an extra climb there. Maybe. I don't know. You can do that. Usually, it's faster to like drop down and place it yourself, but that makes an extra climb. And no climbs for this level. That's an uncommon occurrence. It's just 1 climb, is what I would say. I'm not done checking it out yet. Okay. Like, can you do anything to, like... Oh, you can! Yeah! That's awesome. You can do it in 0 climbs. Nice. 7 time. Save 1 climb here. Wow, so interesting! Save another climb over the speedrun out here, since usually you just go down like normal. Yeah, so it's 4 for this level, and the speedrun out is 6. I guess it's just the usual, like 1, then 2, and then 3. Like, these 2 are like for sure required, because there's no way of getting to that fire otherwise. You can just do this. Which is, there was the 1 climb earlier, and then 2 and 3. So it's 10. Oh, this is gonna be interesting, because you can either do the right way first or the left way first, and so it's 1, 2. This is helpful because it means you don't like place an ice haste there, which was something that you would need to remove. So it's 3 so far, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no way to drop a too wide one, so you'll have to climb at least 1 more. It's 9 for this. 8, 9, 10. Ah, the other way is faster. Cool. Wait, already that's unoptimal. You do this, so you don't have to climb 2. Then do this, obviously, to save a climb. Okay, this is an interesting area. And if we were to go down, like remove this ice, and then go down and place an ice. 1 to like get back, and then, yeah, so it would be like 4 climbs for that way. Or you can go this way about it, which is actually 0 climbs. Well, actually, don't do that, because that requires another climb. Wait, hang on. Hang on. I just thought of something. Aha! That is a very interesting way to save a climb. Oh, actually, hang on. So don't do that, because that uses an extra climb that isn't necessary. Then we can drop down this one. And I think we'd want to drop down 3 of these. So we don't require any like extra climbs or anything. This is the usual route. You do this and then yada yada, but that does a climb, and you don't want that. Oh, I can just do that actually. Yeah, so just attach it. Is the thing. There you go. I was gonna say initially, like maybe you could save the climb of like making a huge bridge all across this row, but because this guy is like starting towards you, and you can't like do this sort of trick hit because you're on the same row as it, there's nothing you can do there. I can probably do it without. So that saves on 2 climbs. Yeah, it saves on 1 climb, since usually you go on the bottom layer to like push the ice below me into the fire. Oh yeah, this is definitely not great. So this is 5. Oh, actually, you can definitely save that on the climb there. But if you go back, you can do that, so you don't do that climb. 5. Which saves on a climb. Oh, you can save climbs by doing it like this. And usually it's 1 climb that makes it 0. This is a 2 wide, so you can't drop any things down. So it's 1 climb that involves more climbs. So you can do this. So it's 1 climb for the whole level instead of 3. And then you can also take out the fire this way, if it was still there. So it's 9 to get to that point, where you're like that high up and have taken out the fire. 7, then you take out the fire. This is saving out on 1 climb, I think, because usually the route is like, you head down there and like push your ice over. Aha! Now this is quite interesting. You probably don't need that much, but there you go. It's 1 for the whole thing, I believe. Okay, so the question comes, Okay, it's actually... It costs more climbs to do like a climb up here and then send ice over. Because that's one extra climb. Well, there is the one climb here. Well, actually, no, it costs an extra climb to like send 2 down, because it isn't a thing where you're like dropping directly into the hole. It's like making and then pushing into the hole. But like here, like usually you go back and make it, I think, but you can just make a stack of 3. Usually the route is, I think, like removing this now, or yeah, it probably is, but instead, so it saves 1 climb out of like not having to climb yourself out of the hole. You can do this now, I think. I'm sorry I'm not really commentating much on this, it's just... No! Now there's the question of, is it better to take out the fire that's like on the same row as me? Like, now, how about like going over here? Or is it better to take it out at the same time as like the other one? Because, I mean, in order to take it out now, you need to do 1 climb to get over, then a climb to get back, and you can just bridge over to the other side. I think it's an equal amount. I'll just do the speedrun route though. You can go around here instead of climbing, which saves on a climb. And I think might have already saved on a climb from like earlier. Yeah, so either way it's 1 climb. So it's 4. Actually, never mind, because this requires like 2 climbs, or like 5 climbs total, while the other way doesn't. Oh wait. No, never mind, because the one that like the second climb was like climbing onto this one. Well, actually, technically either one could have worked, because you can just do this way, which doesn't use any climbs. Well, there's this one, but it's not related. Well, actually, hang on. Let me see if that is savable, just by like going through the labyrinth a bit. So I've done 3 so far. The issue is like you can't really do this whole labyrinth without. What about that? So it's still 3, and then you go around here. Then boom. So that makes it with 3 instead of 4. There's no way to get up 3 here, so it's 4. That's pretty cool. I like that little solution. And I bet I can... Hang on, let me just speed this up because it's repetitive. Could save out on climbs, potentially. You can do that now, so you don't have to do it later. Then 1, same sort of thing here. You can do it this way, which, forget if it's the right route or not, like the speedrun route. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna live around here. I think you have to do it like this. Just a hunch, but I think that, yeah. Which is 5 climbs, I think. That saves... I might save a climb. Actually, no, that's the intended solution. Hang on. Aha! That's 17 instead of like 18 or 19 or however much it was. Okay, there is a chance that the silly little like route I thought of a while ago, of like sending all the ice down from here, is better for minimum climbs. But I think the chance is pretty high, actually. So it's 12 and 13. And it saves on one climb, since you don't have to like climb up this thing to start sending the things. So it's not super good, but it is actually an improvement, which is cool. And I want to make like a huge, tall tower. A tower of ice blocks. Then I can eventually send one into you. Which is... So I can take out this guy. Oh, nice. It's climbeless. So there's no possible way to save anything. You can save on a climb by doing this. 7. I feel like there's a chance something could be saved there. You can do this. So that saves on one climb. Oh yeah. I think that might be a faster speedrun route or something. But this way you save on a climb by not having to like go back. Usually you like go down between, but that requires an extra climb. Go at the very end of it now. I think you usually like fall down and climb, so it's one saved. Couldn't you just do this? So I might save even more. Okay. Well, I can frame count that because they're both 13. It feels a little faster. Okay. It saves a climb to go like this, like sending one hunt down at a time instead. Then usually you like climb up here, but you can go through the pipe again, so it saves a second climb. Then 1, 2. Usually you spend 3 climbs to head up there, here to the stone, to take both outer ones. But you can do it like this. Take out the bat, and then you can take out this guy, which is 0 extra climbs. So it saves 5 climbs. And I'm gonna go back to the first half of 15-10 to see if there's anything to save there. But 5 climbs on the last level is like, that's pretty huge. So that's 1. And if you wanted to like send another ice to like make it so you don't have to like climb again, that requires another climb to like make that other ice. Like you can do this, but like you still have to climb either way. Oh, actually, yeah, you can do that. Good thing I accidentally messed up, because it made me realize you can save a climb there. Now that I've gone through all 150 levels for the first time, let's go over a few interesting tidbits about this table. There were no climbs in all of Worlds 2 and 6, and 8 out of the 17 worlds saved 6 or 7 climbs. The first 5 worlds have 14 levels with climb saves, and the second 5 worlds also have 14 levels with climb saves, but the 50 bonus levels have 23 levels with climb saves, which is much more. You can see that I'm only a few climbs away from being under 1,000, which is quite the massive barrier. This led me to search for help from other Fire and Ice speedrunners to see if they could find more climb saves, but in reality, I was under 1,000 the whole time. They accidentally added the Japanese World 4 count to the total counts for all of the versions, and not just the Japanese version, so all of the final counts were over 40 climbs too high. In total, 25 climbs got removed from the total, from a combination of climbs removed from the Japanese World 4 miscount, other climb removed miscounts, and many climb add miscounts. Now it's time for the climb saves from various Fire and Ice speedrunners. Here's where the climb save actually is. Usually you drop 2 ice in this column, then go down and place an ice here, having to climb back up to make the ice you push into this file. But instead of doing that, you can send 3 ice onto this column, which makes the ice you need to push into the file without having to do the aforementioned climb. Usually you take out these 2 files as you get to them, but for this route you skip them, as taking them out now means dropping down 1 tile, thus making you need to climb an extra tile. By going to the top file first, you remove 2 climbs by making it so you don't need to climb back up after taking out the files, as you've already taken out the top file. Originally I climbed to the left at the start, like the speedrun does, but you don't need to. Originally, I built one and then fell here, having to climb back out to remove this ice after building 2 adjacent ice. Instead, you can bridge across and remove the bridge behind you, removing that climb. Usually you head down here to take out these 2 flames first, but that makes it so you need to climb back up to get to the higher fires, so instead you can head to the higher fires first. Here, you send 2 ice, which requires 1 extra climb to the first one, and no more climbs with the second ice. This lets you walk over to fall on the very left side, so you can take out the lowest fire, then do 2 more climbs to get to and then take out the last fire. The scrolling doesn't leave much time to do this, but you can use gameplay pausing a whole bunch to make it in time. There are 2 climbs that seem savable over Link 7777's route of 5, 10, and 10 climbs. Skipping the climb after getting the lowest fire by going through this other path and sending 1 ice instead of 2. Both of these routes are much slower, and it was already really hard to make the 10 climb route, so these next routes will be tasked. This is 5, 10, and 9 climbs, going through the other path to save a climb, but still sending 2 ice to make it a bit faster. This is 5, 10, and 8 climbs. Instead of pushing 1 ice and dropping the other to make the 2 tall ice stack to extinguish the lowest fire, you make it drop 2 ice to make the stack. Instead of heading to the right to climb and drop this ice down, you can go to the left and drop the ice, so you can skip that climb. Here, you usually just walk left so this white ice drops and you climb it, but instead you can walk and remove the ice behind you so you don't have to climb the white ice after it drops. Usually you climb up this right path first, but instead you can climb up this left path to get the fire and make the path for taking out the final fire early. Then you continue up the left to get this fire the slow way, and from there it's the same route as my original time doing the challenge. First, you place some extra ice here to be used later. Then, instead of heading down to make the ice platform for the final ice push and take out the lowest remaining fire, you continue heading up. Then, you climb up these stairs, since removing the ice to skip these stairs makes it so that there's no ice to drop into the area with the last few fires. Here, you connect the ice to the wall so you can drop 3 ice on the one that you made earlier to make a stack, skipping the one you usually do to place an ice in the gap and get back up. From here, you just take out the 2 fires in a row, which takes a lot of gameplay pausing to do in time. Here, the new part of the route is making ice descend to the hole with climbing on this tile instead of sending it later, which forces you to climb the stairs. Doing this route saves 2 climbs since it costs 1 climb to send ice this way, but climbing the stairs takes 3 climbs. Here, you climb right and make this bridge, when I previously climbed left and built 1 ice, having to fall and climb a second time to clear the path. I did an unnecessary climb to get out of the hole with the fire in it, when I could have just taken out this fire earlier so I wouldn't fall in the hole and need to climb. Last time I did 1 climb, removing the ice to make the hole the stone falls into, then climbing back up. Instead, you can build ice as a blocker so the stone will land in the column above the hole after pushing it, so it's 0 climbs. First, you don't need to climb here like I originally did. You can also send down 3 ice in a stack to make this ice we need, instead of dropping down to place a platform of ice and making the ice we need after doing a climb. Here, you build a bridge of ice instead of falling and climbing. Here, you make a stack of 3 ice instead of falling to make the ice below the one you push, having to do an unneeded climb. Here, you remove the ice to deal with taking it out later than you usually do, and next you go down here to re-enter the pipe up so you don't have to climb up the ice. You make ice to push into this hole so you can get onto this row and take out the fire you dropped down earlier. Then you connect the ice you pushed into the hole to this wall, then make a hole to go back through the pipe up to the top. Next, you remove the ice that blocks your way to the top left, and make a stack of ice to push one ice into this wall to make a platform, saving a climb. After removing ice to get down and go through the pipe up, it's finally back to the normal speedrun mode. Here, you can make a staircase down instead of climbing up to send ice into the right fire, which saves a climb, as you could take out the right fire later without climbing. Previously, I just sent 3 ice onto the stack, but you can send 4 ice on the stack for a reason that will be revealed at the end of the level. You can do 2 loop arounds to get the right fire first, then add an ice to the right as a platform so you can push the ice to take out the left fire. Then make it to the area where you push the 4 ice stack, pushing 3 ice and then dropping the other one, when usually you push 2 and drop 1. This extra pushed ice covered the hole that usually forces you to do an extra climb at the end to get out. Instead of going to take out these 2 fires by pushing ice into them directly, you can take them out by pushing ice that falls onto them. Here, you can make a stack of 4 ice instead of going down to make a platform that the ice you push into the fire goes on and having to climb to get back up. You can go straight to the top to take out the highest enemy, then take out the others as you go back down, instead of taking 2 extra climbs to go down to take out the first 2 fires as you make it to them, having to climb back up. Here, you climb up here to make and send ice to the right to make the 2 wide ice to climb on. Instead, you can make an ice at the very start, climb up this right path instead of the left path, then push the pre-existing ice left to make the 2 wide ice to climb up, thus skipping the climb you usually use to make the second ice for the 2 wide ice. You can save this bottom right fire for later, leaving ice on top of the ice platform above the fire so you can take it out when you make your way onto that road to take out the last fire. You can save a climb by going to this platform by going under the stairs and climbing once, instead of climbing twice on the stairs. Here, you take out the top fire first, then take out the bottom 2 fires in the section after, for the same reason as how the saves climb in every level you've seen this pattern in before. The beginning is exactly the same, but you don't need to climb a bunch to send down an ice from the top section. You can take out the bottom fires just by going down there on your own. There's a very long and different route, so I won't describe it entirely in detail, but you basically go from top to bottom instead of bottom to top when going through the top left section, and then push the stone into this left fire jar instead of the right fire. This turns it to 12 climbs instead of 17 climbs. Instead of doing the alternate route going down the left path, you can go down the normal right path, with a similar route that would usually save 12 climbs. That's what Link 7777 originally found, but mixing it in the way to take out the final fire on the speedrun route saves a climb to bring it down to 11. Instead of going all the way down to the row of the fire, then having to climb once to make the ice and climb a bunch to get up, you can make a row of ice blocks to make a path for the ice you make to slide on and fall onto the fire, which saves a climb. This is just the speedrun route. I don't know how I did a route with more climbs than it originally. First, push the stone left at the start instead of heading to the ending section first, and then pushing the stone left after. Then remove all of the ice in this row until it's just one that you can push into the fire, saving a climb by not having to climb over 2 wide ice that was left. This takes it from 9 to 6 climbs. Next, I figured out how to save 2 additional climbs by taking out this fire by pushing ice right into it, rather than doing 2 extra climbs in the top left to make it so ice falls onto the fire. These 5 climbs also actually save a lot of time, about 15 seconds in all. First, I decided to skip the fire here and see if I could make my way back down to it at the end to save a climb. After doing the original 14-8 minimum climbs route, all that's left is to remove 2 ice in a row to get down to push the stone and take out the final fire you skip. Next, I decided to skip this fire, so I went in a row and removed the ice along the way to drop this whole row of ice down one, so you could take out the right remaining fire without doing any more climbs, then go down to take out the left remaining fire. You can skip going down to set up this ice platform and then just send down a bunch of ice in a column, then do the same on the left, although that was already done in the original 15-4 minimum climbs challenge. Take out the higher fire first, blah blah blah. Take out the right fire of the 3 first, then remove the ice to drop the middle of 3 fires, instead of dropping the left fire of the 3 first like usual. You remove the ice below the left fire before going to it, so it drops all the way, then instead of making the single ice holding up the 2 wide ice beyond the left, it's on the right, since the hole with the left fire makes it so you can't put the ice on the left. It works pretty similarly to the normal route, but it saves 2 climbs overall. Now that we've gone back through every level that got climb saves found after the original playthrough, here's the final table. Any percent was brought down to 562 climbs, saving 26 climbs over the 588 it was after my first attempt. The bonus levels were brought down to 360 from 392, saving 32 climbs. Since the bonus levels have half the levels any percent does, it would be 64 climbs over double the any percent amount if it was the same length as any percent. Overall, it went from the 1065 climbs in the speedrun route to 980 climbs in the original challenge attempt to 922 climbs after all the climb saves found by the community. This was my biggest challenge run yet, but I have plenty of Fire and Ice videos planned that'll be even harder and more entertaining, so subscribe so you don't miss them.